You want to crash a plane.
But not from the air. No, it's so dramatic.
Well, how big a plane?
That part is a little dramatic.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to see you guys, even though virtually. Hope you've been well and safe.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I'll start with you, Robert. And this movie being such an experience, you've got the mythological themes and you've got the action themes and the pure entertainment and the great messages. How much do you enjoy it as an experience?
It's amazing. I mean, it's kind of, I've always wanted to do a movie. I love Chris Nolan's movies. I think he's an absolute master. But I think there's something about it always seems to be a bit of a compromise. If you're doing a studio movie, you end up in very kind of simple tropes a lot of the time, especially like a big kind of action adventure movie. And I think Chris is maybe the only director who can work with that scope and have a kind of really interesting, I mean, it's like it's really complicated acting stuff. I mean, it's a really complex story. I mean, probably one of the most complex things I've ever tried to understand. Like,
I agree.
You know, when you're trying to break it down, but also like, you know, when you see the movie, that you can trust that Chris has made it something which is pretty accessible as well, which, you know, to be able to run those two worlds at the same time is pretty amazing.
You're saving the world from what might have been.
Robert, how much do you enjoy, you know, being on a set like that, and how much, you know, physical activity does it require from you in terms of preparation versus other films that you've made?
This was a lot, and it was like massively physical, because also some of the sets we were at were just so far away from everything, and there's no way to, there's no going back to your trailer or anything. It's kind of, you are in and you're there all day, and it's fun though. I mean, it's kind of like, you kind of feel like it's more of an adventure. There's no way to, you know, everyone's in it together. You're kind of hanging out the whole time. I mean, I spent so much time in a car with Elizabeth and John David, just kind of whether it's in boiling heat somewhere or freezing cold. I mean, over a period of 6 months, all of us just sleeping, like just wedged in a car together, just waiting to be called to run into some kind of explosion. It was fun. I mean, I went home so exhausted on so many of the days on this. I mean, I don't think I've ever experienced exhaustion like it.
We need to save them here and now.
And besides all that physical prowess, is it true that you had to film everything backwards and even talk backwards?
Yeah, it's one of the more complicated things I'd ever had to do physically. I didn't have to do anywhere near as much as John David did, but yeah, even the most simple stuff, trying to do it backwards, it's quite a palaver. I mean, one of the more fun things I've ever had to do though is do a scene where you're speaking backwards, because even that we were doing for real, like trying to learn lines in reverse is hilarious. I mean, like to try and have conversations with each other. But yeah, it's absolutely such a wonderful part and really fun as well. I mean, it's a great part. It's a great world, and then just done with this energy and scope that's just enormous.
Time travel.
No. Inversion.
Well, I've seen too much.
Well, we'll try and keep up.
Just your favorite Chris Nolan films, quickly.
This one. The one we're in.
All of them.
All of them, and then this one.
That's a good one. Thanks ever so much. Stay safe.